There are 3 foundational and really easy techniques I use every single time I paint fur: grainer brush, pigmented edges, and scraping. Let me show you how I do it. All the supplies I'm using for today's technique demonstration can be found at paint333.com. For these 3 fur techniques, you are going to need a grainer brush. I'm using a bigger one, a 3/4 inch filbert shaped grainer brush. You can use a smaller one if you're painting smaller than I am. You're going to need a scraping tool. I'm using a palette knife. You can use anything that you find really to scrape. You can use your fingernail, a plastic fork, a credit card, anything that has a hard kind of thinner edge that you can scrape paint away with. And then you're just going to want some other brushes, whatever you like to use to apply paint and water. I'm going to start by laying down water on the darkest areas of the ear. So this ear is a great example of using these 3 techniques to paint fur because it's just long and wavy and there's multiple colors. But these techniques will work for any type of fur. So if you're painting short fur, long fur, even curly fur, this will work really well for all of those things. And what you're going to want to do for the grainer brush technique is leave a little bit of a margin. Don't go all the way out to your edges with your water, because you're going to want to pull some of that water into the edges and the margins to create those furry edges with your grainer brush. And I'm putting a little thinner layer of water in some of the other areas, the other little sections of the ear that we see. So the first thing I'm going to do after laying down this water is I'm going to come in with my darkest darks, and that's going to be black and purple and gold for this particular ear. The black that I'm using is lunar black because it granulates so well. But we can also maybe come in with some neutral tint too to get a little bit of a darker black that doesn't granulate quite so much. So I'm just dropping that in the water and I'm letting it hang out. I'm letting it spread. And then I'm going to come in with my purple. So I'm mixing that same lunar black with opera pink for my purple color. And once we lay down this color, then we can kind of finish with texture techniques. So I typically paint in a 3-step process. You already saw step 1 where we did the water. Step 2 is what we're doing right now, where we're laying in the color. And then I like to finish with what I like to call texture techniques, which is what we're going to do with the scraping, the grainer brush, and the pigmented edges. Just getting a lot of pigment and a lot of water so that we have a lot to work with for our fun techniques that we're going to be doing. And then finally, I'm going to come in with my gold, and I'm using quinacridone gold, which plays really nice with that purple mix that I made. And I'm going to be a little bit careful trying not to completely put it right next to the plain black because I could get green if I do that. So I'm hoping for the best here. All right, so we've laid in a nice area of color here. Let's go ahead and do the first technique, which is the grainer brush. So I'm going to soften the edges of the grainer brush just by dipping in water and blotting it on my towel. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to pull this color into the dry areas. So we left those margins. So now we can kind of dip our brush into that color and pull it away and create furry texture shapes. So we can establish those fur patterns and kind of get those furry edges so that all of a sudden these shapes are recognizable as fur instead of just blobs of color. And you can go ahead and just do that wherever you'd like to have those grainer brush edges. And this is why I think if you do any type of technique for fur and you only for some reason want to pick one, this would be the one I would pick. Grainer brush, it just completely changes the game. It makes your life of painting fur so easy. It just changes everything and it's just worth it. And they're very inexpensive. So get a grainer brush if you paint fur. Do not delay. Go stop what you're doing and buy a grainer brush. They're just that important. Now we've pulled color with the grainer brush, but you can come in with color already on your grainer brush too and paint beautiful brush strokes right away directly onto your paper with the grainer brush. And it is fun, I must admit, it is very fun to paint long hair with your grainer brush. But you can absolutely just do different kinds of ways of putting strokes on the page for different fur. And you can play around with that. A lot of times with grainer brush too, how much water is on your paper, how much water is on your brush, and then the pressure that you kind of use to apply it all changes the look and the feel of the strokes that you make. So if you've never used a grainer brush, practice with it a little bit and get kind of used to how to create different stroke shapes and textures with it. And you'll have a lot of fun. You'll definitely have a lot of fun. It's so fun. I love it. So we're in step 3 where we're doing those texture techniques, but I often kind of morph step 2 and step 3 and even step 1 together during step 3, where I'll add more water, I'll add more color, and I'll keep doing those texture techniques as we go. So you can see that I'm dropping in some more purple. I'm going to grab neutral tint, which is a nice black that doesn't granulate and doesn't spread as much as lunar black. So I'll be able to get a little bit crisper black areas with my neutral tint versus if I was just using the lunar black. So that's why I have 2 blacks in my palette, and I find it's very, very, very much worth having both because they're just so amazing. So now we know how to use that grainer brush, and we're going to actually use it again for the second technique, which is what I call pigmented edges. So pigmented edges is where the pigment just basically settles in the edges of your shapes that you lay down. So let's see if we can achieve some pigmented edges on this area up here and then maybe over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm kind of rehydrating these areas with more water. And I'm kind of also scrubbing the pigment a little bit underneath it to move it around. And I'm going to hydrate this area. I'm going to grab my grainer brush right now has black on it. So I'm going to grab a second grainer brush. This is just a flat 3.5 inch grainer brush. And I'm going to create some more beautiful grainer brush edges here so that we can get some nice pigmented edges in those grainer brush areas. So I'm going to go ahead and load this with water, this beautiful shape here. And maybe get some pretty edges inside the ear too. And now we're in a good place where we can basically just drop in plain water. And what I like to do is I kind of like to scrub out the pigment in the middle. And when I get it to kind of the lightness level that I want it to be, then I'll just drop in plain water. And it'll push whatever pigment is kind of left in that pool out towards the edges. So let's do that over here too. Scrubbing the pigment, kind of loosening it, and then I'm going to add water. And then hopefully this water that we're adding to this pool will push the pigment that we kind of scrubbed off and loosened towards the edges of the shape. And it should look really, really beautiful. And it's one of those really cool things that watercolor does that other mediums just don't do. And it's one of my very favorite techniques in watercolor. So I'm kind of playing around with doing that in other areas now too. Pushing the pigment towards the edges of those colorful shapes that we made by scrubbing the pigment off and kind of just loosening it so that it kind of settles now towards the edges of those shapes. And now I'm going to just play around with, do I need any more pretty grainer brush edges? And I don't need to grainer brush every edge. I don't need, even though every edge technically is furry and detailed, I don't need to completely overwhelm the entire ear with a grainer brush. I can just kind of make my suggestions and let the viewer of the art kind of fill in those details for themselves. And we're already getting some really pretty pigmented edges in these shapes that we did that with. So that will bring us to technique number 3, scraping. And I love scraping. I love it. And I do it all the time. And sometimes I have to tell myself to calm down and not scrape too much. So basically, you're just going to have a lot of fun with this and run your scraping tool. I'm using a palette knife. in the paint and see what happens. So you'll see here, we're getting lines that are darker because the paint hasn't dried yet. So the paint is kind of settling into this indentation that I'm creating with my scraping tool. And then if you hit it with the timing where it's almost dry, it's really, really close to being dry, you should actually be able to scrape the paint off of the painting and get a lighter line. And it's a really, really fun way to create both of those kinds of lines in fur. And it's especially fun when you are working with longer fur like this. So I would just test it out, and I always do because I never really can quite for sure tell if it's going to give me a lighter line or a darker line. So I'm always just testing and having fun with it. And then I try to cluster my scraping. So I don't want to scrape everywhere, even though it's really, really fun. And you're going to have a lot of fun with it. And you're going to want to kind of like scrape all over. I try to, and you can even pull color with your scraping tool too into the dry areas, kind of like what we did with the grainer brush, and create a little bit more furry shapes. Really fine line furry shapes, which is a lot of fun. But anyway, I try to just cluster it and not do too much, but it's really fun to do to give that fur and the hair of your subjects that kind of reflective highlight and a little bit of texture within the ear shape itself. Tons of fun. And you can see all this granulation. I mean, it's just going to town and it's so beautiful. And it's just because of that lunar black color. It's almost like the lunar black borrows its granular abilities to the other colors it's mixing with, because this opera pink is really, really granulating. And it's even granulating the gold and getting some orange. It's just so beautiful. I want to go ahead and show you the finished painting with these three techniques applied in both of the ears. We have the dark side ear here on the left and then the light side ear on the right. So not as much paint and not as much information happening on the light side. So that'll allow you to have more of a dynamic painting that's just more interesting to look at, and it'll help you avoid kind of a busy type painting as well. So I typically do that with my portraits too. I hope you had a blast learning these three techniques. I hope you get a chance to apply them in your next portrait. And I really hope you join me in my next video and keep learning watercolor portraiture with me. Happy painting!